Oh, excuse me. Try to get that cough out before the show started. What's up to all my hoodies? Come on in, come on in. Please like and share the video. Make sure you guys also subscribe to the channel if you are not already subscribed. And let me put my little, hold on, one quick minute. Okay, there we go. We got the please like and support at the bottom, scrolling across the bottom along with our cash app, $ the hood table 402. If anybody wants to be a blessing to the hood table, y'all. But yes, this is gonna be a really quick live, you guys, because I'm doing this before work and I'm trying not to wake up anybody in the house. But y'all, I was watching Kandi yesterday, well last night, Kandi speak on it, and she had a guest on there, Tamika Scott, the beautiful Tamika Scott. And they were going over some of the things that we've already became familiar with, from the time of watching them, grow up, develop into women, and also from them being on the reality shows and having their feuds and they spats and breaking up and coming back together and, starting their own thing, their own albums, separate, albums and things by itself, like, Kandi had went out on her own. Of course, we know Tasha had went out her own. Um, but last night, I really enjoyed the show last night because a lot of the things they have discussed kind of was like left us questioning, like, is that it? Is that all? Is there some more tea to this child? But yeah, so there was a lot of tea still left to pull, to sip in some of the scenarios and situations that we have witnessed online and also on the reality show. Now, one of the things I want to discuss is okay, of course, we all know that Tasha and her husband, well, her husband, Rocky, was getting some kickbacks from the group. And I want to say Tasha and her husband because, like everybody keeps saying, if you've been married for somebody for so long, if you're dating for somebody so long, and you have a relationship and they're supposed to be your so-called manager in quotations or anything like that, you're gonna know a lot of things that's going on, especially if it's right in your household, right under your own roof. So I still hate how Tasha still won't just be like, okay, I did it, we did it. How do y'all want me to fix this? Especially with her sister Tamika, because to this day Tasha is still not speaking with her sister nor the other ladies, and she done changed her phone number again for the 5011th time. But as far as like the kickbacks, when the ladies on the reality show showed her those text messages, and she just sat there looking dumb, like Boo Boo the fool, like a hump on the log, like, huh, what? How y'all get this? Are y'all sure that's real? I mean, y'all remember that episode, the April 2nd episode of the series, um, SWV and Escape, the Queens of R&B, season one. We saw Tamika and Kandi and Tiny confronting Tasha over the claims that her husband Rocky was getting kickbacks from a promoter behind their backs. And one of the promoters had dropped a bomb on them with some receipts. And they brought those receipts to Tasha. And just like some of the other allegations, she denied. She gonna deny. She gonna protect her husband to any fault, regardless if he's right or wrong. Just like the money that her sister Tamika said they stole from her, the royalties. She's gonna deny, even though we got the receipts showing that Tamika's mom, I'm sorry, Tiny's mom, who set everything up and had everything mailed to a certain address for Tamika, everything was changed, names was changed, social security numbers, and all this kind of stuff. And Rocky was portraying, Tamika's manager, business manager, to be able to deposit and cash those royalties. They're gonna deny, deny, deny. Regardless if the receipts is just sitting there right in your face, if it just strikes you upside the head, if it's handed to you from the hands of God Himself, they gonna deny, deny, deny. Now, Tasha, again, if she was any type of woman, had any type of love still left in her heart for her sister, after everything that her sister went through, with her when they was growing up, when they was young, when they started off in the group Escape, and how loyal her sister was to her. I mean, always taking her back, always having her back, even when Tasha was wrong, even when Tasha had got into it with Kandi, and Kandi had said that, Tasha was the reason why Escape broke up. I believe it. The proof is in the pudding. I mean, if the shoe fits, wear it. But Tasha was so hurt because, of course, when you a star, when you well known, anything negative that comes out, shit, anything positive comes out, they gonna turn it negative, on the blogs. But anything negative come out, they definitely gonna slay you and they gonna drag you. Okay. And so, her feelings was hurt. She was in her feelings and she went crying to her sister Tamika. And Tamika had her back once again and started spreading those lies and allegations that Kandi not only slept with JD, but also his daddy, and other people, in the industry, other people in the business or whatnot, come to find out, all that most likely was not true, especially the JD part and the daddy, granddaddy, uncle them part. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe nothing that comes out of Tasha's mouth, okay? And I probably never will, especially all of that stuff that she's singing on her gospel album, her Christian album. That's another thing. That's another thing. Tasha, here's some more tea. We always kind of waiting for Tasha's album to come out to see how well it would do, especially after, like, you coming out with a gospel or religious album, but you acting like a whole devil on this reality show. Okay, maybe not a devil, but definitely not a saint either. Okay, on this reality show, all these allegations that came out from you, especially when it comes to the sex tapes. Okay, we're gonna get there in a second, but let's stay on this gospel album right now. So a lot of people is blaming or putting fault on the reality show, also on Kandi, on Tamika, on Tanya, saying that they are the reasons why her album is not doing as well as it was expected to be. Not how I expected it to be, but I guess how some people expected her album to be. I don't know if it's flopping. I ain't looked at the sales. I ain't tried to see, how well it was doing out there. I actually had told you I was gonna buy it, and I told you I was gonna take one for the team and download the album. And child, I forgot all about that damn album. I forgot all about that damn album. And some other people probably forgot about it too. But anywho, we should have expected that album wasn't going to do so well. I mean, you came out with, I can see if you came out with an R&B or a rap album or something like that, shit. But a gospel album and the way you was carrying on that show with your sister now, I mean, acting like your shit don't stink, turning your nose up to everybody every time they ask you, are you going to participate in anything that has to do with the group? I gotta pray about it. I gotta pray about it. I gotta take it to the Lord of prayer. I got take me to the King. I mean, you everything. She gotta pray about it. Okay, so I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all about that album. But back to the sex tape. Okay. Now, we got a little bit more tea on the sex tapes and how, because I had kept telling y'all, and I was on my panels, and some of my panel members was like, well, I don't think that's, a big thing that Tamika made a sex tape and then gave it to her sister to keep. And I was like, what? Y'all don't? Pause. I thought that was very strange. Okay. So this is what had happened. Evidently, Tamika was with her ex husband, and her ex husband had cheated on her. And she ended up having her own little relationship after that. She's like, hell, you cheat on me, I cheat on you. You know how some people be. You know, you cheat on me, I cheat on you. So she found her own little side piece, her own man on the side, and started messing around with him and cheating on her husband. That kind of turned into a relationship, though. It was a relationship enough for them to make sex tape. You know, this wasn't no one night stand or anything like that. They was together for a minute, and they ended up making some sex tapes. And then she ended up getting back with her husband. She ended up getting back with her husband. And of course, you know, if you get back with your husband, y'all about to be back under the same roof again. She was like, I don't want that sex tape in this house. I don't want him to find it. It's one thing to know somebody had an affair or cheated on you, been unfaithful and loyal, but to see it. So that's the thing with the sex tape. She gave the sex tape to her sister Tasha and asked her to please take care of this. It's like leaving your child with someone, something real important. Please take care of this. Don't let it see the light of day. Okay. Um, it was supposed to be in Tasha's safe, but for some reason, it made its way out of the safe. If it ever was in the safe, like I said, I told y'all before, I wouldn't be surprised if old Rocky over there was watching that damn video every chance he got when Tasha wasn't around. Okay, but allegedly. But yeah, it was supposed to be in the safe, and it somehow found its way outside of the safe. When Tamika asked for the tape or asked about the tape, Tasha and her husband, what tape? We don't know that tape. Oh, I don't know what happened to that tape. Somebody must have stole that tape. Well, how they get in the safe? Girl, when I heard what I heard last night on Kandi speak on it, Kandi, how the tape get out the safe? Like how get out? How do you get out the safe? You gotta have the code. What you break in? You know, get some top notch bank robbers to break the safe or what? And Tasha said, I don't even know if I locked it that day. Ah, I was gagging. She's like, I don't even know if I locked it that day. You got a whole safe in your house where I'm sure you keep all kind of important documents, maybe birth certificates, marriage licenses, deeds, insurance, all kind of things. And you don't know if you locked it that day. That was the excuse. But then years later, years down the line, now y'all is threatening to expose the sex tape that went missing from the safe that Tasha thinks she forgot to lock that day. All of a sudden, when Tasha and her sister fall out, and Tamika basically exposes her and her husband for the shit that they done to her. Oh, if you don't apologize to me like you apologized to Kandi that one time when y'all was on stage performing, then we gonna release this sex tape. We gonna release these pictures. And I was like, what's up with the pictures? Like, did they make some still pics from the sex tape or whatever? I was kind of confused about that. But come to find out, it was not only a sex tape, but allegedly, and this is what Tamika says, Rocky done got into her phone. Okay, Tamika one day had received a text or a message saying, your password has been changed successfully. And then she was like, huh, what? She didn't think about it too hard at the moment. But then one of her friends or somebody told her, I would check it that. I would look into that further. Okay, so when she did, she called the company and the company told her that her husband called and had the password changed. Her husband called and it said his name was Darius Scott. Tasha's husband, Rocky, allegedly. Tamika puts the blame on him. She said that he called and said his name was Darius Scott, which is Tamika's ex-husband's name is Darius, but his last name ain't Scott. Her last name is Scott. So Tamika knew something was fishy. Okay, definitely something was fishy. So she finds out the phone number that the person called from. She looked up that phone number in her own phone and found out that that number belonged to Rocky. Uh huh. Uh huh. There's so many allegations and scams and lies, and I mean that from Tasha and her husband. I don't understand how you could do this to somebody you call your sister, your real life blood sister, who was always there for you, always trying to protect you and your feelings and your faults, and even when you was being the way you were being to the group members and things, still trying to protect you and stand up to you, spreading lies about other people just to take the light off of you. All these type of things that Tamika did for her sister, and I still can't believe it. And a lot of people can't either. And that's one thing that Tamika did speak about last night too, was that people are coming at her husband. People are coming at her husband saying, "Man, you a whole she was laughing and joking about it. Talking about people be talking about you a whole top flight security guard, and you can't protect your wife from Tasha and Rocky." Tamika has said, she told her husband, because her husband don't act like my man ain't just ever wanted to go over there. Like somebody is threatening to expose your wife's sex tape from the past, way from a blast from the past, and you have children. Some of them might be grown, but some of them are still young. You have children, regardless if you have children or not. Somebody's trying to expose your woman, and this is supposed to be y'all family. So I can definitely believe that Tamika's husband, they thought about it a few times to go over there and bust somebody upside the head, or, beat somebody to the white meat. But Tamika told him, please allow me to handle my family. Please allow me to handle my family. Who keeps threatening to expose her sex tape? And not only did they threaten, but they sent text messages to people in the industry, big time bloggers. They sent text messages to people like Tasha K, Freddie O, and other bloggers. And some of those bloggers reached out to Tamika, telling her, a sex tape about to come out about you. And of course, she's like, huh? What? What happened? And not only that, they were threatening to release some dirt on the members of Escape, all the members of Escape. Kandi was like, what they gonna tell about me? I'm an open book. Shit, I got a whole sex dungeon. I sell sex toys. What is they going to expose about me other than I'm a freak? Let me take a sip of this coffee. Mm-mm-mm. But yes, the show last night was really good. I think they was on there for about an hour or so. Yeah, probably about an hour or so. And I love the relationship that Kandi and Tamika has now. They used to be so very close, but then of course, Kandi was explaining how she kind of felt left out a lot, as the group was together longer and longer. She kind of felt left out a lot. Her and Tasha didn't really get along. She explained before in the past how Tasha never really cared for her, never really liked her. Kandi and Tamika was friends first. They was friends first. They was cool. Then the group became a group after that. Escape became a group after that. But Kandi and Tamika was really close, back in the past. And recently, or as of late, they have became like besties again, like sister friends again. And I love their relationship. Now, I know Tasha does not like that relationship. And that's one of the reasons why she was kind of standoffish and still is with her sister. That's another one of the reasons. When Kandi wasn't in the group, it was just Tamika, Tasha, and Tiny. And Tamika had said on the show last night, she said, man, there was times in the group where me and my sister was not cool, and her and Tiny was real cool. And she said, damn, I feel like Kandi. She would tell people, I feel like Kandi. And Kandi was like, huh? And she said, girl, you know how you felt back in the day when you said you felt like didn't nobody want to be bothered with you. Nobody ever invited you out to eat or invited you here or invited you there. And she said, that's exactly how I felt. She said, I feel like Kandi. And Kandi said, so now you know how I feel. How I felt back in the day when everybody was telling me crazy, calling me crazy, and it was all up in my head. It was all up in my head. So yeah, Tamika got a taste of that. But again, I'm glad they back friends again, and they seem like their relationship is a lot stronger. I mean, you know how you see people be friends, then they try to be friends again, and the shit look fake. It look fraudulent as hell. They really look relaxed and comfortable with each other, like they just picked up the pieces right where they left off. I don't see no fakeness to their relationship. The way they was discussing things yesterday, even certain things that might would have brought hurt to them in the past, they still were able to just talk about it last night as ladies, as grown, mature women who done lived through life, and experienced life. They just seem like they just click, they just mess, and I love it. Those are real friends. Those are real friends. Everybody don't get a chance to come across a real genuine friend throughout their lifetime because there's a lot of snakes out there in and out of the family. Okay, in and out of the family, there's a lot of snakes out there. Can we say Tasha? Can we say Rocky? Or as Tamika likes to call him, you know what she likes to call him? And it's so funny. Edward's still in hands. Man, I just wish they would just give that girl her money back. All the royalties that she didn't get paid, I wish they would just give her the money back. Because not only the royalty issue, not only the sex tape issues and the threats, but also the kickbacks. I mean, they discussed that again, last night. Kandi and Tamika was discussing how Tasha and her husband was double dipping in their paychecks. And Kandi, wanted a little explanation or wanted to explain a little bit more in detail so people could understand what they were referring to. Basically, it went like this. When Kandi was away from the group, the other three ladies would get like a certain amount of money. They were told that if they brought Kandi back, now Tanya and Tamika didn't know about no kickbacks or nothing. They were just told if they bring Kandi back, the group could make more money. They're needed. Everybody wants them. Their fans want the reunion. So they got Kandi back. And they said once they got Kandi back, they thought they was gonna be getting more money. They thought they was gonna be getting more money. But they weren't getting, they was getting like the same, if not less. And the reason why they were getting the same, if not less, was because Rocky and them was double dipping. If the group normally would get like 200K, that's just throwing a number out there. Because Tamika made it very clear last night. Oh, we get paid more than that child. But if the group was getting 200K, and that was before Kandi, once they got Kandi back, they were still getting around the same amount. And they was like, how is this possible? Why? Because the extra amount that they was getting was the kickback that Rocky and Tasha was getting for basically pulling Kandi back because there was a behind the back door deals. If y'all get Kandi back, we give you this, we give you that. So that's what had happened. And Kandi has said for the longest, they have always said that they would not do stuff like that. Sometimes people come to Kandi, sometimes people come to Tamika, and Kandi's like, it's whoever answered the phone first. And then once somebody answers the phone and somebody tells us that they want us to do this or that and the third for this amount of money or whatever, then we would talk to everybody in the group. Then we would bring it to our manager, and our manager would do the deal. Not one of our husbands or our mama or somebody else outside the group. So it's just like one thing I can say. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. I don't need no sister like that, and I see why Tamika is not groveling, trying to get back, in good with her sister. Of course, it would be nice, but she ain't groveling and trying. You know what I'm saying? You can only take so much. Especially when I found out about the trademark, like they discussed the trademark issue on the reality show for a moment. Then to come to find out how the trademark went was Tamika said that she and her sister had heard that Kandi and Tanya was trying to get the rights to escape by filing for the trademark, but it fell through. That's what Tamika said. But Kandi said she really didn't have much to do with it. She said that was Tiny's mom who really was like, you know what, y'all need to trademark this. And I guess they did trademark it per Kandi, but Kandi said they didn't renew it. And you know how if you don't renew certain things like that, then somebody else can pick it up. But Tamika still insisted that she heard that it had fell through. But nevertheless, Tamika and Tasha went ahead and trademarked it. And it wouldn't even got trademarked without Tamika because Tasha didn't have no money to do it. But she begged her sister to do it and said, I will pay you back, for my portion for what it costs to trademark. And to this day, just like they ain't talking still, to this day, Tamika ain't never been paid back. Tamika ain't gonna get no money out of her sister unless she probably take her to court. But do she really want to take her to court? I'm sure she does, but like their relationship is already rocky right now. Rocky. No pun intended. But so she probably doesn't want to make it any much worse. But I'd sue the hell out of my sister and bruh law. But that's just me. Now, the last thing I want to say, the biggest message for me during this episode was when Tamika was saying how a lot of people within her family and people on social media, like bloggers, followers, trolls, etc., keep asking her, how could you expose your sister and brother-in-law about, on social media like that, on a public platform like that? And Tamika was like, well, why would your family steal from you like that? Then she went on to say, why do our people, because of family, in quotations, sweep things under the rug all the time? That's what we were trying to do when we was growing up. That's what our family was trying to do as well. But if somebody steals from you, if somebody molests you, if somebody beats you, or some other horrible thing, and they are family, we were taught to sweep a lot of things under the rug back then. What happens in this house stays in this house. But Tamika said if family ain't acting like family, then we got to get out of that. We got to get out of that as a black people, as a people. That stigma that we have to be loyal and protect those who don't protect us, we got to get out of that. And on that note, you guys, again, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the Hood Table. Thank you for tuning in to all my hoodies, Hood Nation. Stay safe, be blessed, remain vigilant at all times, and always remember to keep it hood. Bye.